Okay, it's November the 9th, 8:30 p.m. This is Super Mush Mouse, and I'm looking at the moon hologram, and I'm looking at an orb structure, which is an orb ring that's partially inside the moon hologram, and about 2/3 of the way outside of it. The top part there where the orbs are moving from right to left, okay, counterclockwise. That's outside of the moon hologram. The rest of it is inside the moon hologram. Okay, so the moon hologram is an orb cluster nucleus. It's an energy field or nucleus of orbs packed into a very small space, and I'm talking lots of orbs in the smallest cluster as possible for that many orbs that make it up. Okay, it's also surrounded by other orbs, which consist of the parent cluster, which every star has, and the moon hologram, that's what it is, because every orb cluster nucleus is a star or some form of a star. And you can see how it's moving now erratically, because now it knows I'm definitely filming it. And don't ask me why it knows that I'm filming it, or how possibly it can know that I'm filming it. But as soon as it knows that I am, okay, that's the way it moves. Okay, even against its own rotational axis around the Earth, the way it's supposed to be revolving, moving to the right, it keeps moving back toward the left in reverse. Okay, so anything to hide this ring, that's what it's gonna do. Whatever it takes to hide this ring from my view, that's what it's gonna do. So I just want you to see those orbs are moving. I don't want you to say I made it up or anything. They are orbs, they're highly active, and they're moving, and the whole thing there, you know, the entire moon hologram is all orbs, also in a highly active state, that are moving as well. They're all moving counterclockwise. Okay, it doesn't matter in which direction, the movement is counterclockwise. Okay, they move in all different directions, especially the ones that make up the moon hologram itself, the nucleus. Okay, so you can see how this cluster works, and the orb wheel cluster I'm talking about. Okay, those are the things that fly, you know, once they disengage from the moon hologram, the nucleus itself, they go off into space and they fly, just like that, like a donut. Okay. Now they can also change shape. They don't have to stay in that kind of a formation, but many times they do. And this is where you see orbs breaking up into, like, you know, few here, few there, or they may only show like 2 or 3 orbs, but then there's the rest of the ring that doesn't show. and then they light up all of a sudden and they're there, and you wonder how they got there. Well, how they got there was that they were there all along, part of that ring, but just weren't activated. But you can see that they definitely are spinning, I'll hold it here so that you can see how it works. You can see that it's spinning at a fairly good clip, counterclockwise. All the orbs are going around, even into the moon hologram there and coming out the other side. And it's all counterclockwise movement. Okay, on both the right and the left side you have orbs there that feed orbs into the ring, because right now it's part of the nucleus. Okay, that wouldn't be happening in space when that thing is free of the moon hologram. In space it would just be flying on its own, and those orbs there on the side wouldn't be there. They would either be part of the ring or stay with the moon hologram. They would not be part of the ring. Okay, unless they join the ring itself. But they would not be hanging on the side like that. The ring would be a perfect circle. Even if it doesn't look like a perfect circle now, it would be a perfect circle when it's on its own. Because that's when the orbs really spin fast or revolve fast around either an orb in the center of the ring or an imaginary center of the ring. Okay, they don't need to have an orb in the center of the ring. They could just spin and make that thing into a perfect circle. And then all the revolutions are counterclockwise, and sometimes it's not visible until the orbs glow. When the orbs glow, that's when you can see it. And these things can travel very fast. But it's also rings like this that can appear only half the ring, and then it looks like something else. Or different orbs could light up or energize, and then you see different configurations. Okay, that's how they make them with the ring. They light up different orbs, or groups of orbs, and then you see, one here, 2, 3 there, a few more, some other part of the ring, or you could just see the whole thing. Every orb would light up and be energized. So you can see the orbs right there at the bottom half on the right. They're coming right around from the other side. Okay, where it supposedly goes into the moon hologram, and the dot ring goes right down into that, energy ball, and then comes back out. And that's how it's charging. So right now, that ring, the entire thing, is getting charged by the nucleus. Okay, so that it can go on and travel wherever it's going to go. Now, this ring here has a center, the middle part, that has orbs in it. They don't all have orbs inside the center. Some have them, some don't. But right now, being that it's on the moon hologram itself, okay, that could either be just like an illusion, or orbs could be pouring through the center to magnetize it faster, because this all works in magnetic electricity, and by the orbs going both over and through the middle of that ring, they can energize it faster. And there are orbs actually going around the entire moon hologram, also counterclockwise, although, you know, it doesn't look like they are right now. There's always orbs going around the moon hologram from the parent cluster, and they're always going around the nucleus. And I've shown that in the past many times. But right now I'm not set up to show that kind of a thing, because I don't have any kind of a filter on. So I just wanted to capture these orbs and show that they're charging. Okay. And then when they start to actually glow very bright, that whole ring's gonna just take off and go wherever it has to go. And it'll be fully charged when it leaves the moon hologram. So I'm just gonna back up. To show you where it is. It's right up on the top of that entire thing. Okay. I'll let it just come into view. Okay, so it's okay, it's right near the top. Okay, and you can see that part of it is submerged right into the moon hologram itself, the nucleus. And you see it going in reverse. That's because he doesn't really want to show that ring on camera. Okay, that's not something they like showing. They don't like to show anything that, you know, whatever they're doing in the moon hologram, that's, you know, off limits. And they don't like showing anything that happens up there, because that's like a base of operations for orbs, and that's where they come to Earth from, a lot of them. There's a lot of them on Earth, but this is like almost like a forward base before they come to Earth, and then they come to Earth from there. But there's a lot of them on Earth already. They're all over the place down here. Okay, they're not just coming from the moon hologram anymore. There's plenty of them down here on Earth, all over the place. Okay, unimaginable numbers. Wow, did you see how much jerking that thing did just to hide that? It's important to see what it does to hide that thing, and how much effort is going to, you know, invest in just trying to hide it. Just wait till it realizes it's on camera. You see, as soon as it knows, because these are intelligent beings, they're energy entities that make up that whole thing and everything else in space. And they definitely don't want us to know what they're doing, for sure. To them, this is supposed to be a secret. So just watch when it catches on that it's directly on camera. Nope, you see? Okay, so that's not the normal movement of any heavenly body going through space, that's supposed to be orbiting the planet. It's supposed to go one way, not go back the other way. It's against all laws of physics. Okay, that can even happen, let alone that it's happening consciously and deliberately. Okay, watch. Okay, new strategy is just gonna try and squeeze by. Okay, I have to set it up so that it can't. Okay, it's trying to avoid the camera by trying to go faster. The whole thing's gonna just go by faster. Okay, now I caught it. Now it knows that it can't. Okay, you see it going backwards? Now, it's gonna hold position. I don't know what's hoping for me to go away or something, but whatever it's doing, it doesn't want that thing to come forward. And it's holding position, even going backwards in reverse. You see, I knew it was gonna reverse. A lot of times I know exactly what it's going to do, almost as if, I don't know how, but I just know, this is going to go in reverse or something. And it does. Excuse me. Okay. It doesn't like this distance because you can see it at that distance very clearly. I'm just gonna get it even closer. Show those orbs moving. Okay. See? They get upset. And they're not sure where the camera is pointing. So they know they're on camera, but they can't be sure where the camera is pointing. Because it's easier for me to change the, orientation of the lens than for them to move that entire hologram out of the way. Okay, I'll try a real close up. One more time. I'm going to bring it up. Okay, now you can definitely see the orbs just streaming by. I'm holding the camera now in one place just to show the orbs. Okay, I'm moving the camera now to show the orbs in from different angle positions, so that you can definitely see that it's a bunch of orbs going counterclockwise in that wheel. We'll call it the orb wheel for now. We don't have another different name for it. It's an orb ring or orb wheel, whichever one you like. But you see there on the right hand side near the bottom, you can see the orbs. You see the two orbs right there, 2 or 3 orbs right down at the bottom on the right hand side of the wheel. Or the ring. Okay, so it's got big orbs like that, all one next to the other, and then you have even smaller orbs over them, overlapping them, so the whole thing, all the orbs are just going counterclockwise really fast in many different layers and many different size orbs. Okay, so it's not just like one set of orbs, it's multiple sets of orbs in different sizes. But when they cluster up, then it looks like it's just about a dozen or so orbs, because they can cluster up into separate clusters, because that's what that wheel really is, or ring. It's separate clusters of orbs, and then it'll be like about a dozen or so orbs making up that whole ring, and then that's what you see when they come down here to Earth and then separate into like 1 or 2 orbs pieces or 3 orbs, and then they can fly off individually from that and shrink that ring size, or they could just stay all in the ring and turn some on, turn some off, or the whole thing could be either visible or invisible. It depends how many of them energize. Okay, so let's see if there's anything else up here to see. That's a big white orb right there. Okay, it's definitely white and big. That's energized. Those other ones are big orbs. This whole thing is just a lot of orbs. Okay. These are all different types of orbs. Could be some structures that they make. They make structures out of themselves. See those right there? How lined up they are? They could be either going to the left or just straight up, and it looks like they're going to the left. They look like pearls, starting with that black one, and then the white one's right after it. You see how straight that line is? Okay, I'm going to try and set it up so I can see that top. Just wanted to see that orb there on top without holding the camera so it doesn't shake. but the hologram is jumping around all over. Okay, there you can see the green orb and the brown orb, and then there's a white orb. Two white orbs, one light brown, one more brown, and one green one right there. Okay, that whole bunch. But you see the light energy right there? Okay, that's coming right out the moon hologram. And you see how it's being fed in the form of orbs into the ring. And that's what I mean. Energized orbs, they're the ones that go in through those orbs in the ring and charge them up by depositing more and more energy until that whole thing will start to glow. But that takes a while, okay, for that big ring to start to glow. But I have videos of them glowing, okay, they're on my channel, and I don't have to wait for it to glow. This is a really big white orb. Okay, that's a big one. And that one too. Okay, that one was brown before. Remember I said there was a few brown ones? But now it's turned white because it's energizing. Eventually there'll be more energizing and they'll be glowing. And those look like some kind of structures that, you know, orbs can make structures. See how straight that line is right there? And that straight line of orbs is connected to a large orb right there, that white one. So they make different types of structures just using themselves. The entire moon hologram is a nucleus, but it's also an orb structure, the whole thing. Okay, because it's a multi-dimensional space structure. Okay, because it's not just, you know, one or two or three or four, who knows how many dimensional planes are on the moon hologram, or cluster nucleus itself. I know there's many, but I don't know how many. Okay, but there's more than just a few. Okay, I'm just gonna see if I can change something. No, I'd have to turn it off to change filter, but I can darken it. See if the orbs will shine to show you where they are. Okay, maybe this shows them better, so you can see where they are. I'll lighten it. Okay, see the ones there on the side? On the left there? Okay. What they're doing is making sure the orbs that are going from the right counterclockwise toward the left stay along that ring and don't shoot off. They're making them go around it. That's like a safety. Okay, so they have it on both sides. See how they jumped out of the way when I was going to show that? Okay, so they have those orbs right there on the left, and then they have rows of them over here on the right. You see the energy field right there? They're all orbs. Okay? So that's like an energy field, an electromagnetic field, holding them on the right side and also feeding them in on the right side. And on the left side they have a different kind of an electromagnetic field that's smaller, just to keep the orbs from flying off and making them go around the ring itself. And you can see that the ring is, right below the surface of the hologram. You can see it below the surface. Okay, that's how you know it's multidimensional. If you can still see it below the surface, okay, that means that surface is not solid. Okay, it's layers, dimensional layers, but it's not solid, and that's why it's a hologram. Okay, you can see the ring, and you can see right through the surface layer of the moon hologram. That means it can't be solid. So the nucleus there, the moon hologram or cluster nucleus, is not a solid object. There's more proof about that it's not a solid object, and that it's a multi-layered, multi-dimensional space. And you can see even here that red layer on top. That's the electromagnetic field holding the entire nucleus together, so so it doesn't break apart. Here you can see where all that light energy is concentrated. Okay, this is where the most intense and the fastest orb revolutions are taking place. Okay, at the highest velocity, and that part there that's glowing is producing the most energy. Then you have the yellow part, and then that pink part. Okay, but it's in high gear right now. Okay, and it's got a very thick electromagnetic field there to hold that high activity energy in. And you can see the orbs there glowing right on the side. Okay, because that electromagnetic field that's red on the outside is also created by orbs. So they make every single structure for every single thing, because there's nothing else up there, it's just them. So they have to diversify into many different functions in order to create the kind of structures that they need. And you can see that they're just all orbs all over moving at a very high velocity right across the moon hologram and all around it. Okay, so out in space. Okay, this is out in space. So this is what's happening around the moon hologram out in space, because the moon hologram is right here, and then you go off a little bit, and that's what's happening all around it. So all those orbs are would be going around the moon hologram just like that many. But because it's such a hot nucleus, all you can see is the nucleus. If I can find it. Okay, because it's so bright. Okay, see, it's very bright. Because there's a lot of activity on it. But as soon as you move off, this is how many orbs are going around it. And that's what's happening all over in space. See how when the moon hologram comes close to it, it just, wants to black them out. It's just, but when it moves farther away, the light from it just shows all of these. And that's what space looks like, just like that. It's full of orbs. And these things are everywhere. They're the whole universe is like that. Every place I've looked so far, all the different stars and everything else up in space, or every other area that I could possibly, see from where I am. It's all like that, just like that is space. And there's no void. Okay, it's a lot of orbs moving at a very high velocity in all different directions. And they formed a multidimensional thing called the universe, and they're intelligent, they create energy, and they're very good at making holograms. And there's a good possibility that the universe could be a hologram, the whole thing, not just the moon hologram, but the whole thing might be a hologram because of the way these things operate. Because they only seem real when they're in your dimension. If they want to make themselves seem real. Otherwise, if they're not in your dimension, they look like, ghosts or apparitions or anything but a real thing. And they look like all the things I showed over here on Earth. But they could also be real. So it's problematic. You never know what to make of them. Because on the one hand, they could be holograms, and then on the other extreme, they can be very real. Because they can control energy, and by controlling energy, they can manifest into matter, any form of matter, and being intelligent, that makes them able to manifest into many types of matter, living and non-living. And that, that means you never know what they could be and where they can be, and if they're there or not there, because they can hide and make you see them when they want you to see them and not see them when they don't want you to see them, and just by energizing they can become visible, and de-energizing they can be invisible. And so, you know, they're at a high intelligence level, and that makes them it makes them scary and dangerous, because you never know what they're going to do, and we don't know anything about them, and they're not coming forward to say anything about themselves either. They just, most people don't even know they're there, but they're everywhere. There's just as many in the air on Earth as what you're looking at now. I'm not exaggerating. You know, this is what our air looks like, just like that. And on the ground and all over, everything on Earth looks like this. And they're just everywhere, these things. And that's why I think, you know, the whole universe could be created just out of them. And I do think that they were the first type of life form, and that they were the first type of unintelligent life form. But they're energy beings, okay, that can manifest or shapeshift and manifest into matter by controlling the energy that they create themselves. Okay, they're not beyond stealing energy. They do it all the time down here. They love our planet. There's so much energy to be stolen. And then they take it anytime they want from our power grid. But other than that, like, you know, they can create their own. They don't need our power grid. They have a million and one ways of making their own energy. They just would rather take it than make it, because it's easier to take it if it's available. Okay, and I think that's why they have us on Earth for, so we can power them up. Okay, I think that's why they go around creating species like the human race, so that we can produce energy they can power up from. And I think that's the basic bottom line for our presence on our planet, is to create energy in order to power the orbs up, because they're an alien life form and a life force, and they're energy entities which can manipulate energy to the point of changing it into matter, either living matter or non-living matter. It's all the same to them. They always know they're an orb, and they can always go back to being an orb, you know, whether they're living or non-living matter. They don't forget who they are, what they are, and have to get to go back to what they are. They never get stuck in being, you know, a single object, because they're shapeshifters, and they can be many, either objects or subjects. They could be anything they you know, can think of being, just by changing themselves from energy to matter and back to energy from matter. And that's the way they work it. Okay, let's see if that wheel is there. and find the moon hologram now. Okay. Yeah, you see, it's got that X. As soon as you see that X there, okay, that's a star. All stars have them. Okay, it's a different angle. Let's see what it looks like now. See how you can see inside the moon hologram itself, the nucleus? Okay, it's not solid. You can see right in it. And you see the orbs right here? Even on top. Look at them down here on the other side. Okay, so they're definitely energizing this whole thing. There's definitely alien activity on the moon hologram. And it might not just be orbs, you know, or it could be more than one type of orb. But the whole thing is made out of orbs, and it's and you can see them right there. Okay, you see that the whole thing is alive and well, and it's not solid. Gotta get a better grip. So you can see right there those orbs on the side. And over here you can see them getting fed in. You see how they feed them in? Okay, they're all charged, going from the right side there, and they're feeding them right into the ring. And that ring can take a lot of orbs, because they can really pack them in. The more it takes in, the thicker it'll be, until it's finally all charged and ready to go. Okay, even the part that's inside the moon hologram in the nucleus itself, because all you're looking at there in green is the top end of it. Okay, now more than half is below the surface. Okay, but the surface is not solid. It's made out of orbs, and you can see them right there, right in the middle. Okay, and all over the top. Okay, you can see that those are orbs. And you can see that those are orbs right on top. And you can see that the thing is trying to move it out of the way. Okay, now it's gone into high gear, meaning it's really, they're moving very fast. And you can see it getting whiter and whiter, and it's gonna glow. And there it's glowing now. Okay, you see? Okay, so I had it on camera long enough that I got it upset, and now it's gonna charge up and glow, and eventually it'll take off, but it's not ready for a long time yet. But at least I got it to glow. Okay, so that's the way the rings charge up, and that's what this was about, to show how those big rings charge up, because they can, you know, they're the ones that can travel far, and they can travel far either as a big ring like that, or they can break up and be like a straight line, like pearls. They look like a string of pearls, just all in a straight line, and they follow one another, single file. Okay, they'll go in single file. And they can also break up into like pairs or threes. Usually it's either pairs or threes. Okay, sometimes it's like 5 or 6, but after that it becomes like big rings like this, or just larger clusters. All of them making just one large cluster. Okay, it depends. Whatever they need, they make, because they can do it. Okay, so now I wasn't paying attention to it as much. It brought that high activity level down, so it's not glowing right now. Okay, because it's going to do a slow charge and not a fast charge. Okay. So that's it for this orb ring. I'll try and see if I can see something else, because there's nothing else in the moon hologram other than this big bright white orb. That's a big one. Okay. And the whole thing is just orbs. Okay. it's made out of orbs. It's not a solid surface, it's a multidimensional plane, and it's layered. Okay. It's like a lot of orbs, just layered it one on top of the other, and all moving counterclockwise at various, velocities, both inside and outside of the moon hologram. Okay, and that's what creates the energy and makes that thing glow. Okay, because that's how they charge up. Okay. One more look at the ring here. Okay.